Welcome back on gaming. This is Devin, and yesterday I was talking about the leaks with the Last of Us Part One, the remake, and I did say that another interesting part about that game is Bruce Straley, or at least the information that came out more recently about just him in general. So, what we ended up finding out was that he actually went ahead and announced a new studio, which is Wildflower Interactive, which of course will work on a lot smaller games, nowhere near what Naughty Dog does, but it's just very interesting because the last that I can remember of him is that he took time off, and that was after I believe it was The Last of Us Part One. Oh no, it was actually the Uncharted game. He said that he was taking some time off, and then didn't work on The Last of Us Part Two. So that was solely, I guess, Neil Druckmann. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and look at some more information or just sort of the timeline of this, just because it's very interesting because it sort of shows a little bit of or it shows the downfall, I would say, of Naughty Dog, or just in general. So the first thing here was that, just like I was talking about, how he just sort of disappeared. So an article from December 4th, 2016 said that Bruce Straley is not returning to directing The Last of Us Part 2. So basically this article talks about how he directed The Last of Us Part 1, The Uncharted, A Thief's End, worked closely, of course, with Neil Druckmann, but he did not want to go ahead and return to The Last of Us Part 2. He just said that he needed much deserved time off, which, of course, it later talked about, just mainly the creation of a lot of these big games. And one of the things that Naughty Dog is associated which is, of course, crunch time. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense, of course, but it just shows a lot of what's actually going on over there, and that it's probably not fun to work there at Naughty Dog. But then, of course, later in September 13th, 2017, there was a tweet from Bruce Straley saying it was an honor and a joy being part of the amazing team. But today, it's time to say goodbye. Thanks, Naughty Dog. So that was officially when he left. Me personally, I forgot all about this, but it is very interesting, just him leaving in general. And I believe that was way before The Last of Us Part 2 even finished. So just interesting. And then, of course, the other part that's going to be interesting is how, Amy Hennig left too, or got left. And then now we get to him announcing Wildflower Interactive. So there's been a huge change for him, of course, lately. And I mean, he goes from this huge company, one of the best video game developers with Naughty Dog, and now he's working on his own new studio. So just like I said before, just very interesting, a lot of that. And with that, I mean, I know at a lot of companies there's a lot of turnover and just this and that, but it sort of falls in line with a lot of just the company in general. I would say just the content that they're creating, just how everything is with them. So I mean, of course, not too long ago you had where I think it was said that they sort of forced out Amy Hennig. So she was the one, of course, that worked on the Uncharted series, and then all of a sudden she was gone during the development of Uncharted 4. And that was sort of an eye-opening kind of thing for Naughty Dog. Like, why are they doing this? And, why would you lose her? And of course, now she's working with Lucasfilm or Lucas Games, Sundance New Media. They're going to be coming out with a brand new Star Wars game, which looks or could be interesting. But of course, she's still in gaming, but just now with Naughty Dog. And she was phenomenal with the Uncharted series, of course, as well. But Naughty Dog loses her. Then they lose Bruce Straley. Now, of course, they still have Neil Druckmann, which I mean, he's the co-president there, along with Evan Wells. Evan Wells has been there for a while, but I mean, just look at what has been going on since Bruce Straley, Amy Henny are no longer there. You have The Last of Us Part Two, which I would say is very, or just in general, is connected to Neil Druckmann, and just how bad and divisive that game was. Even if you like the game, like it's just very divisive. I don't. There hasn't been that much with any of their previous games, and just the direction that they've been going on. I mean, you have Last of Us Part Two. Now you have The Last of Us Part One, which that's very a problem for a lot of people. I mean, it's just something that doesn't need to be made. And then of course now you got TV and they're The Last of Us Part Two factions, which seems like it keeps trying to come out eventually. But I mean, just look at the state of Naughty Dog, and I mean, if you're just looking at last gen or just some in general, Naughty Dog, they're not even a studio that you even look forward to their games, I would say, anymore. I mean, you got like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man. It's a lot better games, I would say, that are coming out of other studios. And at a time, Naughty Dog was one of the best creators, especially during that PS3 era. But yeah, I mean, just wanted to go ahead and look into see what's going on in that. But it was a lot of fun looking in and seeing what was happening there. But anyways, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Uh, Let me know your favorite Naughty Dog game or maybe God of War game. I don't know, whatever it may be. But thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.